This is kind of surprising and upsetting at the same time, because this means that people are literally just watching anything. Resident Evil on Netflix is an awful show. I actually watched 2 episodes of it. I couldn't finish it. And then I watched other people's reviews, and it seemed that I made the right choice by skipping it because it's awful. One of the worst shows I've ever seen, and I'm not downplaying that. It's really, really bad. But that doesn't seem to matter because it still did well. Debuted at number 4 in streaming rankings and has almost as many minutes as the Terminal List. I'm not kidding. This series, which dropped on the service with all 8 season 1 episodes July 14th, amassed 858 viewing minutes, putting it at number 4 on the top 10 streaming chart for that week. Number 1 remains Stranger Things with 2.94 billion minutes, the only show or movie to top number 1 billion minutes during the frame. The most recent reported by Nielsen. Comparing this, of course, to the Terminal List, which got 887 million minutes, and even The Boys, which is a great show in my opinion, 828 million minutes at number 5. Resident Evil got more minutes than The Boys. And don't forget that most people don't seem to like this. Critics and audiences lining up in a very rare occasion, both trashing the show. Everybody universally seems to agree that the show is awful, but they still watched it. And this is coming from Nielsen streaming rankings. This isn't coming from Netflix. If Netflix had came out and said this, I would have said something smells shitty. But that's not what happened. A third party comes out and says, yeah, this was the number 4 show. And it did better than The Boys and almost as good as the Terminal List. 2 good shows. People seem to be willing to watch anything. Like, these numbers don't lie. This is really, really kind of depressing because this means that the show will probably get a season 2. More bad shit getting made. I'm really blown away by this. I can't believe it because everything has pointed to this show being trash. Social media made fun of it. The YouTube trailers got downvoted to hell. And all of the reviews that I've seen from people, even critics, called it a garbage show. It's crazy to see. Like, are we all so desperate to watch things? I mean, go back to the past, people. There's shit from the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. Like, you can find older stuff that's really good. Like, you don't need to watch Resident Evil Season 1. And it is Season 1 now because I guarantee you it'll probably get a Season 2. And I didn't think that was going to happen. I'm really just shocked and depressed at the same time. This makes me wonder what's going to happen with Lord of the Rings. The showrunners out there, again, being clowns, talking about the books like they used the books as their Bible, which we already know is not true because, well, for one, they didn't like Peter Jackson, ghosted him. 2, they're adding shit. We know they're adding shit. 3, they fired that Tolkien expert that was working for them. At least that's the alleged rumor that I believe. I do think that it's true. They fired the guy, gave him an NDA, and sent him on his way. So that way, he wouldn't leak how awful the show is. But at the San Diego Comic-Con, they're in Hall H talking about the book. like they give a shit about the books. Anyone that's watched these trailers knows they don't give a shit about the books. Anyone that's heard these actors talk, no, they don't give a shit about the books. But they're in there talking about it. Stephen Colbert asked them about the characters that they're making up, the implied characters. The implied characters. What guidance do you take for these characters' creations? As part of his answer, Payne said, So one way, always back to Tolkien. And two, when Tolkien was silent, we tried to invent as Tolkien as a way as possible. McKay added, go back to the book, go back to the book, go back to the book.
You serious?
Oh, they're very serious. Because if they were doing that, why would they have the Harfoot hobbits? Well, they're not even hobbits, I'm sorry. They actually addressed that. In the same presentation, Payne claimed that Harfoots were not hobbits, something that is found on page 3 of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. If one truly was going back to the book, it wouldn't be too hard to figure that one out. Payne and McKay were asked, why is there a hobbit story in the Second Age? Payne replied, well, it's actually technically not a Hobbit story. It's a Harfoot story. And so Tolkien doesn't say anything about the Harfoots not having done anything amazing in the Second Age. He sees it as hobbits before the Third Age didn't do anything impressive. So we felt we had a license there to tell a good Harfoot story. But that's not what they've been saying. It's a lot here, but it's just funny to see them saying, oh, the books were our Bible. And that's not the case. I'm not even a huge lore guy. But they're purposely running around saying that they're following the lore to a T, and that's a lie. And the hoop jumping that a lot of these shills are doing to try to cover up this bullshit that they're pulling with this show is hilarious. I liked in yesterday's video where they said that they were, there for the fandom, and or OneRing.net said that the fandom has faith in this show, which is an utter lie. But that's the bullshit that these shills are pulling. But who knows? Maybe none of this will matter because Resident Evil Netflix had big numbers. Holy shit, this show might be a success. And oh man, what a joke that'll be. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.